everyone, welcome. This is Abby from Brantford Public Library. For today's craft, we are going to be making a pride themed friendship bracelet. This is made with thread and it just goes on like so. So for this craft, it is super simple. We just need a clipboard or some tape, and then you need your colorful thread. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to tie a knot at the top of the thread. And I'm just trying to get it to the top as much as possible. And then make sure that's nice and tight. And then you're going to take your clipboard or your tape and you are just going to clip it to the top. So now I'm going to separate my thread. I have it into twos and you're going to do 3 separate sections. We're just going to do a simple braid of the threads. This is going to be the tie of your bracelet. You can make it as long or as short as you want, depending on your other section and how much you want to do of that. I did this one fairly long. When you're happy with your braid, you can go ahead and tie another tight knot at the bottom. Once again, I'm just going to pull this super tight so it's secure. So now I'm just going to get my thread organized. I am going by the pride flag, so I'm going to do red, yellow, orange, green, blue, and then purple. So now that I have my thread organized, I can go ahead and start making my bracelet. I'm going to start with my red piece. I'm going to make a 4 over the yellow, and I'm going to pull that end of the red piece under the yellow and pull that up, keeping that yellow one nice and tight and straight. This is where the clipboard or the piece of tape comes in handy. And I'm going to do that twice over each thread. Once again, I'm going to do this with orange. So I'm going to make my 4. I'm going to take the red thread under the orange and I'm going to pull up. And I'm going to do this twice, just like I did with the yellow. Now, when you are pulling at the top, you don't want to do it too tight because then it's going to be a really tight and small bracelet, but you want to do it tight enough where the thread is in place. So now I'll do the same process with the green, making the 4 and then tucking that red thread under the green and then pulling up twice. So once you are done with that red thread, you're going to put it all the way to the side and start with the yellow. So now I have my first section done. The first one is always going to look a little bit wonky and not as clean, but as you keep going, it'll look a little bit smoother and cleaner. So now I am going just to repeat that process with the yellow. I'm going to start with orange and then do green, blue, purple, and red, and loop over each thread twice. So as you can see, it's starting to come together. We're going to continue to do this with the thread until your bracelet is long enough. So when you are done with the pattern of the bracelet, you can go ahead and tie a knot at the end. I'm going to try to make it as tight and as close to the base as possible. So now I'm going to go ahead and start braiding my yarn just like I did at the top of the bracelet, and I'm just going to make this long enough that I can tie at my wrist. So now that I'm done with my braid, I'm going to go ahead and tie another knot at the end of my bracelet and just make sure that it's pretty tight. So now that I'm done my knot, I'm just going to go ahead and clip the end of the thread. And that is our Pride theme friendship bracelet. I hope you enjoyed this craft. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.